capacities and possibilities of birthing in a disastrous and pestilential aqua.
I'm proud of Nigeria despite the challenges. I had an American green card. I gave it up. I'm not excited about it. If I was crazy about it, I would keep my green card and eventually qualify for citizenship.
More than ever before in the history of our nation, this is the worst instability we are facing. In fact, this is worse than the Civil War. Today, there are a lot of misgiving, a lot of misinterpretations of what is happening. We cannot pretend that we are capable of confronting the situation in our hands.
Editors Hangout, where journalists gather to dissect the pulse of our world. We are not just reporters, we are the guardians of truth and justice, with our pens and mouth sharp enough to pierce through society ills for humanity and a better country. Don't miss out, because when journalists speak, the world listens. Tune in to your Shining Supreme radio station and be part of the conversation every Wednesday from 11 o'clock to 12 noon. Editors Hangout, the meeting point of journalist by journalist for humanity, society, and the country.
Good morning and you're welcome to your Shining Supreme radio station, Diamond 88.7 FM. And it's the show Editors Hangout, where seasoned journalists converge to dissect and discuss dominant headlines, raising eyebrows and steering national conversation. This morning, we'll talk about the allegation from the chairman of Dangote Refinery, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, against the person of the chief executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NAMDRA, NMDPRA, Farouk Ahmed, and the recent dissemination of fake news against the person of the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio. If you're just joining us, my name is Adeyemi Adewale, and this is Editors Hangout. Joining me and four colleagues together, we're going to look at the topic I said earlier. Mr. Michael Abiodun Ladiwaji, the General Manager of Diamond FM and also a renowned editorial voice, is with me in the studio. Also as Mr. Abiodun Akimumi, Mr. Alhaji Akinlolu Abayomi, and also Mr. Bayomi Adeniji. Together we'll be dissecting these topics. You can be part of our conversation. You can join us by calling into the studio number and also sending messages on WhatsApp. You can also listen and be part of the program irrespective of your location by logging on to any of Diamond's 88.7 FM's online platform via www.diamondfm.net or at Diamond 887 FM on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Let me say good morning to you again, and let's hear from my colleagues in the studio. Let's start from Mao. Good morning to you, Mao. It's nice to have you join me again on the show.
Good morning, the anchor man. And good morning to our listeners all over the world.
Mr. Beldo.
Thank God.
It's good to be here again.
Alhaji. Good morning.
Good morning, the anchor man. People are home. Good morning.
Mr. Bayomi.
Good morning, and thank you once again for having me.
Mao, you want to add something?
No, we can go on.
Oh, okay. Let's start the conversation. Like I said earlier, we'll be discussing seems to be a lot of issues that we just had since the beginning of the week, I think. I think it was on Sunday or Monday where Alhaji Aliko Dangote gave that interview. Was a very, should I call it an outburst, an inciting one, and making strong allegation against the person of Malam Ahmed Farouk. And guess what? Even Mr. Ahmed Farouk has replied. He has replied to the allegations. But even Alhaji Aliko Dangote went as far as he's ready to take this and to petition the ICPC, which reports said he has done that, and also ready to take this up. So these are still conversation. That the person of Alhaji Aliko Dangote will not be making strong allegations as strong as this and ready to fight it through, even saying he's ready to go to court and ready to let the schools publish the amount in terms of school fees if he is not sure. Why the man in question has also said, I'm welcoming the ICPC. I'm not going to reply to those allegations. Let the ICPC come and let them do their investigation for me to clear my name. Dear colleagues, before we go into the discussion, let's hear a little bit from Alhaji Aliko Dangote.
Can complain about a regulator who has actually put his children in secondary school, and that secondary school education, which is 6 years, 4 of them cost Nigeria $5 million for educating 5 children. Even my own children, they didn't go to those schools. My children went to Nigerian secondary school. Today, as we speak, the authority chief executive, Malam Farouk has 4 of his children that he educated in Switzerland at the cost of $5 million for their secondary school education alone, not university. And I know that one of them just finished Harvard. So I want to now see what kind of system are we operating that, people are now busy destroying a country, taking money from the government. Because when you look at his income does not match paying this kind of.
Oh, let's quickly start. These are strong allegations coming from a strong man, the richest man in Nigeria.
Thank God, these are some of the things we've often discussed on the editors hangout here. That the operations of NNPCL is always shrouded in mystery. So, being that as the baseline, you find out that when Mele Kyari, as the chief executive of NNPCL, was there for good 8 years, there were series of allegations that even the NNPCL were not even paying into the national purse what belongs to the nation. And so far so good, nothing concrete is done on this. Now, thank God, is a big man, is a cabal within cabal that is now coming out with facts about the level of corruption the country has passed through. And with this, I believe that this is just an iceberg. It's an opening of so many scandals that might be unraveled in the process of carrying out proper and thorough investigation into the activities of NNPCL.
Now, this is not from NNPCL. It's not directly to the NNPCL. Like I said, the allegations is against the Nigerian midstream and downstream petrol regulatory authority.
It's an arm of NNPCL.
But I want us to just state it clearly. Let's start with the issues before we start dragging NNPC to it, so that we can just be very clear to our listener. For some of us who do not know just the background of this, don't forget that before Dangote refinery start working operationally, the downstream sector told us that there's a bit of Nigerians should be careful with its fuel. In fact, Mr. Ahmad Farouk was caught in a video also questioning the quality of the fuel coming from the Dangote refinery, where the Alhaji Dangote had to reply by getting a bottle where he actually puts those fuel in a bottle to unveil and also explain the quality of those oil. Now, Ms. Alhaji Dangote have said this one. They've also been a bit of reports, someone saying this is because of a certain 15% levy that is being put on the Dangote refinery. Do you think this is what we call bad belly on the street coming on between both of them? Or should we look at this as a strong allegation, or just them throwing bad belly between themselves?
Well, I think there is no way we talk about this issue without mentioning NNPCL. When the Bible says, because those two things, they are it's a subsidiary. We used to have Department of Petroleum Resources, which is DPR. Now, so I think one of those division of DPR is this mainstream, or what they call itself. And it's a pity that these agencies, the head of this agency, that's supposed to be a regulator to one of its players. One of the players in the downstream sector now is Dangote. It's just like a radio station alleging the chairman of NBC. That's why it's because that agency is the one to in charge of regulating.
That's what I'm saying. Is it a bit of bad belly between themselves?
I don't think it's a bit of bad belly. I think it's a matter of not having a strong institution in place in the country. That's the way I see it, because it's just like we also have Nigerian Education Electricity Regulation Commission, and the district company now alleging the head of that. So that means there is an issue between a regulator and a player in a particular sector, agricultural sector for that matter.
Is it the issue?
I think
that's
the
because
issue.
if there's an issue, then that means it's bad belly.
It's not a bad belly. That is the issue that come to this, because whether we like it or not, when Dangote refinery started, we all start with the issue of, okay, are we seeing fuel to are we going to sell crude oil to him directly? Then we source it outside. Later they settled that one. So later they said the refined product of Dangote is substandard. He debunked it. Later Dangote now allege that they have one refinery in Malta. I don't know whether you remember that they have one refinery in Malta. That's why they want to sabotage his own refinery. Later that one settled down. Now this issue now has to do with issue of this importation of fuel, where we have a refinery in Nigeria that has capacity of giving us more than what we need for domestic consumption. Now that time I know that even if anybody is going to condemn that refinery, it's not supposed to be Farouk, because you are the agency, just like NBC condemning a radio station that you are overseeing. So, and I think that is a matter of personal issue between both, and it's a matter of interest, the way I see it, because like Farouk is protecting the interest of those importing fuel, while after is protecting his own investment. And we have to remember that the same amount, Dangote used $20 billion to build his own refinery. That same amount that was used to maintain moribund for Nigerian refineries. So I think these are issues, and it's a matter of life and death. That's why I think this man is coming with this allegation. Now presently now, that they want to be selling a petrol for 700 something naira. NNPC is selling it up to 850 naira. So why is it contradictory? When we have something that is cheaper at home, where are we going to buy?
Before we come into the business aspect of it, I want us to stay with the allegation. Mr. Bayemi, let me bring you on this. I want us to stay with the allegation that we have. Malam Farouk is a civil servant. One of the things that Alhaji Aliko Dangote spoke about is the alleged amount, which he says about $5 million. Now, there's this graphics also going up online that they said is part of his petition, and in that graphics, the calculation done there was about even $7 million, not even $5 million. As a civil servant, even at the height that he is, does he have that capacity to be able to send his children to that kind of school in terms of the structure that we have paying our civil servants?
You are talking about bad belly. You see, there's nothing like bad belly here. This is open and closed. How much does he earn? Can he earn 5 million naira a month?
Even PS Finance Secretary is not even up to that.
Do you understand? Now, if it's now, first of all, if you have a calculator, even use 700, because he said for like 6 years they were there. So take the exchange rate at that time to be 700 naira times 5 million. You will see what the calculator will give you. That's one. I think, to me, if we are a country that is serious about the war on corruption, the subsidy would not even have been removed in the first place. Because the reason why the subsidy was removed was because it was being abused. Somebody will supply 2 million liters, and he will generate an invoice of 5 million liters. And him and his collaborators in the government sector will now share the balance that they put on it. So that means that some private operators in the downstream sector and some government officials in the old NNPC were collaborating and sharing this money. Instead of EFCC and ICPC to arrest them and punish them for fraud and 419 or whatever it is the book say, they said the subsidy that the whole Nigeria is enjoying, they removed it. Let's not forget that that subsidy came because Yakubu Gowon and his then Minister of Finance, Chief Awolowo, felt that, look, this crude oil is a Nigerian property. Government cannot go to the streets and be giving people money. So what can Nigerians benefit from this God-given resource? That was the origin of subsidy. Then before you know it, Nigerians, our own brothers and sisters, started to exploit this in a corrupt manner. They didn't catch them. Then, in between, they break down the refineries. Since the time of Abacha, we have been repairing refinery. The refinery has never worked. They have spent more than $80 billion on resuscitating, revitalizing these refineries. One man, Ogedengbe, the chairman of Nigerian Petroleum Engineering something association institution, I don't know, who has been an MD of both Kaduna, Warri, and Port Harcourt refineries. Ogedengbe, that's the man's name. He said that those refineries cannot work because everything they were doing on those refineries they did not touch. He used one catalytic converter. So if they didn't do catalytic converter, those refineries cannot work. They can appear to work, but we have seen that they didn't work. Now, coming back to NNPC, because I would prefer to say the petroleum sector. And
Exactly.
NNPC is the largest actor, or was the largest actor in the petroleum sector. Then we now have the Petroleum Industry Act, just like the Power Holdings Act that unbundled the sector. That's why we now have the various midstream, upstream, something regulation. Regulatory. I think this one is midstream
and
Downstream.
regulation authority.
and downstream.
So they are the regulators of that sector. And Dangote from day one said that he could sell his fuel at 600 naira from day one, even with the fake that's after the fake commissioning of Buhari. So now, but some people have been benefiting from this importation. Me, I had Dangote's account in Hausa. It was on RFI. The oil that they are producing comes from Russia, and the Russian oil is sanctioned oil, so they are buying it at below premium. And they are refining it in Malta, in a refinery that is strongly believed to belong to some Nigerians. There's another account of another refinery elsewhere. So what they are getting is cheap crude they are refining. Dangote is buying crude at premium. If you watch, the whole press conference took like an hour plus. So this same Farouk, who said that Dangote is producing substandard, Dangote showed that he now took reporters to his laboratory and challenged NNPC, the midstream agency, and all of them to show that if they even have a lab that is good up to his standard. And he gave the various standards of petrol. So I strongly believe that Dangote got tired, because what he said is that they want to kill him. Not that they want to shoot him, but they want to kill his business. And since they want to kill his business, he too will react with what is necessary. He also said that some people are saying he's producing a monopoly, or he's a monopoly in the oil sector.
We'll come to that because that's where the importing and the exporting conversation comes in.
So anyway, I strongly believe that it's not a question of bad belly, and I strongly believe that by the time I started talking, the petition was ready. Because after less than maybe about 24, 48 hours after the petition,
he made the announcement,
was submitted to the ICPC.
Alhaji, let's bring in you on this. Why do we need Dangote to do this before a petition is being raised from the ICPC? We'll go on this quick commercial break. We'll come back from that commercial break. We try to throw the phone line open so that we can do this together in the studio and also the listener. But before that, we'll go on this quick commercial break. Alhaji, please hold your thought. Well, we'll come back from the commercial break. Then we'll come back and talk about our system when we say we are fighting against corruption. Why do we need Dangote? If Dangote can know this, what is wrong with the ICPC and the EFCC in their fight against corruption? Quick commercial break. We will be back.
Hooray! It's another beautiful Christmas season. Diamond FM Amusement Park Ilori cordially invites schools, parents, NGOs, religious bodies, and all well-meaning philanthropists to this year's Everyday Father Christmas show, running daily from December 5th to January 4, 2026, with various affordable price categories available. For inquiry, call 08026773152. Again, 08026773152. Or visit Diamond Amusement Park, Plot 2, New Yidi Road, Irewolide, Ilori. Diamond Amusement Park, home of unlimited fun.
Welcome back from that commercial break. You're still listening to Editor's Hangout on your shiny Supreme radio station. We're talking about the allegation from Dangote, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, about on against the person of Malam Farouk Ahmed, the chief executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. Alhaji, before we went on that quick commercial break, I was asking a question about our system in our fight against corruption. We have the ICPC, we have the EFCC. And what we know is their job is to fight against corruption. And from the revelation we got from Alhaji Aliko Dangote, for now we are not saying anybody is guilty or not guilty, but we now have an allegation. We have a revelation from Aliko Dangote. That doesn't seem like something you need a lot of effort to unravel. So the question I ask, it boils the question: what's wrong with our fight against corruption? Are some people more powerful than the agencies that are supposed to fight against corruption?
Well, thank you, dear Anchorman. I will respond. Okay, let me do it this way. Anti-graft agencies, their officials are not spirits, and they wouldn't be going around looking for who is guilty or who is not guilty, who has committed an infraction or who has not done that. What they are expected to do is to receive petitions, and once they receive petitions, they act on it. The police has a department. The police have a department that is expected to investigate, and even at that, they will still expect that somebody will come and file a complaint, or possibly somebody will make a petition available and they act on it. Yeah, be that as it may, on the main issue, it is basically a fight of the heavies, and the two sides, only God knows their true intentions and their true what is in their mind, because on the part of Mr. Farouk Ahmed, he may be fighting or taking steps or taking measures to prevent monopoly out of jealousy or out of patriotism. Alhaji Aliko Dangote is fighting for survival. And the most important mistake he made, very big mistake, the press conference was meant to raise observations and made complaints public. And what was the major complaint? It was to complain about regulatory decisions that are inimical to the interests of local investors. But he chose to engage in emotional blackmail. You know, when you are fighting someone and you see that the person is whatever, you just say, my man, I get someone like just to engage in, what is not relevant to the issue at hand. Because the most important thing is the complaint centers on the issuance of import license for petroleum products. That this ought to have stopped once you have people producing that locally. And he made an analogy, which is very important here. He likened it to a situation where you have a bakery and the production cost is 1,000 naira, and somebody else who has information about your template now produces bread, sells it right in the front of your company at 800 naira to the consumers. He has already killed your business. So the major complaint was the issuance of import licenses to some people for petroleum to import petroleum products, and which truly is open, is very clear, is not ambiguous. We all know that once that is done, and you have people who are producing it locally, or for example, if Dangote is making his product available at 10 naira, for example, and somebody is bringing it from let's say US, is making it available at 8 naira, you have killed Dangote refinery company.
Some will say that's competition.
No, that's not competition. You have the most important thing that a responsible government will do is that you protect the interest of the people who are producing locally.
Ahead of
that should be your major interest. No matter what, you must protect. Because let me tell you this.
Okay.
If somebody produces something in Ghana and brings it to Nigeria, we are strengthening CD. But if somebody produces in Nigeria and takes it to Ghana, we are strengthening the naira. So whatever it is, any responsible government anywhere in the world, your first interest will be the local producer.
Alhaji, let's take it one after the other.
Okay.
You said before ICPC and probably EFCC anti-graft agency could work, they will need a petition before they could work.
Yeah.
So that means for every politician that they have chased, someone has petitioned the politician.
Yeah.
Okay. And you also said going into Alhaji Aliko Dangote that he made a mistake by getting emotional with those allegations.
No, I didn't say that. What I said was this. He prioritized emotional blackmail over what he ought to have laid emphasis on. The major complaints were two. Oga, you are killing local investors. You are killing local investment. You are discouraging people who are investing locally. The second one, you have done this because you are issuing import licenses. So by now saying, the party was trying, that was why I called it emotional blackmail. It was trying to say like, look, these are the people that also killed the education sector. And they have the money to take their children overseas. That was the point he was trying to make. And that's why I likened it to a situation where you are engaging someone on an issue like, okay, this is what is happening, you're arguing, and they say, even mama, your mom is not from here now.
Let's come back to what we know our president has always been preaching in terms of economy. It has always been the word free market. Right? That's what we know that they say we operate in Nigeria. Is there anything bad with importing? Should it not be a place where you can create competition and at the end of the day, the consumer gets the goods in the best quality and in the right value?
Laissez-faire, which is free market, is globally not completely free. Either in US, in Russia, in any country of the world globally, when you talk of free market, it is not completely free.
So we should
protect
our own refinery that is selling at high price when we know we can get also. I'm just trying to from the analogy Alhaji made that you have. Sorry, sir. You have a bakery. Your own bakery selling at 10 naira. And I have another person's bakery that can give me the same quality at 8 naira. Yes, at 8 naira. So you are not saying I should prioritize the one selling to me at 10 naira ahead of the one I can buy at 8 naira. Now the question is, if this one is producing locally, why can't you sell at 8 naira?
Let me tell you one thing. One thing is so clear. Without increase in productivity, the economy will never rise. The economy will always go down the drain without encouraging productivity. It is productivity that increases the financial capacity of a nation. Without productivity, the naira can never become strong. It will become weaker and weaker to either the dollar or any other foreign currency, except we embark on local productivity. And without encouraging local investments, we will always have distortions in our economy.
Mr. Abiodun, is that not monopoly in monopoly in another name?
Well, it's not monopoly
for the way we've been calling it. Because if you're calling for the art in importing of fuel, because you have refinery in Nigeria, and probably because they might create a competition for you, and the competition will be strong. Is that not monopoly? Because some will say, is this not what we have in the cement industry?
It's not monopoly because those people are bringing their own. The more you are strengthening their own economy, because now that's refined product you are bringing now, they are their own refineries there. Those that are working there, they are collecting salaries. So you are only getting the product and selling to your own market, killing your own industry. Now the bakery that you have in your own country, people are working there. So that means those are employed there, they are strong, and you are even strengthening your own currency. Now coming back to this issue of importation, by this time, I don't know, the policy of this tax strength regulation is even affecting the policy of the federal government, because that same federal government increase the tax on importation of fuel. They only shift it to the beginning of next year. Now if the federal government is doing that okay, they will increase the tax on importation of fuel. Why are you now issuing license against next year? When so by the time the federal government want to implement
that's
it,
because it's a free market. If anybody want to come in.
It's indirect sabotage
those
of
cabal,
the
they say they want
economy.
to go on strike. That's why federal government have to push it to January. So, and I think federal government should fight those cabal headlong now, so that we have a real competition in the whole sector. Obviously, I'm expecting these other investors that are making their own refinery, they are breaking up by next year. The boy is coming, the Edo one is coming, there's one in Ondo. So if those one come, that's the competition that we have. Everybody have their own refinery, sell it at your price. If you can take your those that if we have more than enough, take to other countries, take it to Ghana, take it to Ivory Coast. And
But the question is, if every other country also do the same thing we want to do,
they don't have the same petrol product that we have. They don't have the same crude oil that we have. They don't have the same.
Nigeria has one of the best crude oil in the world.
So that gives us an advantage.
It's free from sulfur.
See, if those countries do the same thing, then we will have real laissez-faire competition. The reality is that there is nowhere in the world where you have laissez-faire without any intervening hands. Let us look at the food industry in Europe. In Europe, food is the cheapest thing. It is cheap. It is cheaper to buy a half chicken than a bottle of alcohol 60 cl in the 27 members of the European Union. It's not because they are so productive. It is because they have made it a conscious policy to ensure that food is available. Look, in Netherlands is probably the largest producer of dairy products. In order to keep the international price of milk, cheese, and butter at a particular level, Netherlands will dump their excess into the North Sea. So, I mean, these are known facts. And whatever anybody may say, the question we should ask ourselves, in this petroleum sector, we have spent more than 80 billion in the last 20 years to bring up refineries that are not working. Dangote in 10, 15 years has been able to put a 20 billion refinery that produces more than all the 4 refineries owned by NNPCL. We have to look at these things. Now, the issue of monopoly, Dangote I'm sure he did his economic history well. The petroleum industry in the United States, which today is the biggest user of petroleum products, was put up by one man called Rockefeller, John D. Rockefeller, with Standard Oil. For the first maybe 20 or 30 years of the last century, until about maybe 1930, from about 1900, Rockefeller under Standard Oil, ESSO, which became Unipetrol in Nigeria, was the only producer of those things. Then people started to come in. You understand? You see, that thing that Babangida brought, our cost structural adjustment, that El Rufai used to sell off all our national assets. This same El Rufai that is running up and down, that was selling things of 300 million and 30 million, that sold Nitel with an agreement in Dutch language, aside. So what I'm saying is that Dangote, as of now, he is the largest producer. But remember, the theoretical characteristics of the market are free entry and exit. So why can't all other people too go there? You understand? And whether we like it or not, Dangote is not employing less than 5,000 people. Apart from state government in Nigeria, how many people are employing 5,000 people?
Let's quickly go on this quick commercial break. We'll come back from the commercial break. We start by taking your messages on WhatsApp. Quick commercial break. We'll be back.
Hooray! It's another beautiful Christmas season. Diamond FM Amusement Park Ilorin cordially invites schools, parents, NGOs, religious bodies, and all well-meaning philanthropists to this year's Everyday Father Christmas show, running daily from December 5th to January 4, 2026, with various affordable price categories available. For inquiry, call 08026 773152. Again, 08026 773152. Or visit Diamond Amusement Park, Plot 2, New Yidi Road, Irewolide, Ilorin. Diamond Amusement Park, home of unlimited fun.
Welcome back from the commercial break. You're still listening to Editors and Guards and Diamond 88.7 FM. You can call in 0913 655 6952. 0913 655 6952. WhatsApp is 0913 655 6864. 0913 655 6864. We're talking about the brouhaha between the Dangote refinery and also the person of Malam Hamed Farouk. That's Chief Executive Chairman, Chief Executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. So for Alhaji Aliko Dangote, he accused him of, he alleged that he spent about $5 million to send his children to secondary school in Switzerland. So let's start taking your messages and your contribution. Dangote Refinery and Petroleum Market. This is a season of cooperation and optimization to maximize benefits from the expiring petroleum resources. Dangote should take it easy. Is separating a fragile industry where the rental economy is an institution. They should take it easy to avoid fuel scarcity. The Dangote refinery is an infant industry that needs protection. Dangote should find a level of equilibrium in his relationship with petroleum marketers. Koladia Indi Saddam. Let's get this clear. This fight is not between Dangote and the petroleum marketers. No, like we said, its fight right now, the allegation is against the chief executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. Those are even, in quote and unquote, just to put it in layman terms, his own regulators, the orgas of the Dangote refinery, just in layman. It's not between him and the marketers. So let's go back into taking calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Sadiq. I'm calling from Okiosi.
Sadiq from Okiosi.
Yes?
Good morning to you, Sadiq.
Yeah. I don't know what the present administration is doing. These are the revelations that are leaking to the public.
Mm-hmm.
Previous government have given all these people chances. So we've not been seeing all this. I want to say in quote, we have bandits in the forest, and these are the elite bandits in the society that are holding the masses at neck. Tinubu saw it all. He was just watching them. They are enjoying all this, and see, there are more fights. More fight is coming. I don't. It's just people that understand this downstream, upstream. Few people understand this. Talk about this elite. It's a terminology. The people at the petroleum only understand this, and they are not enjoying the free for all things again. Tinubu is really attacking them. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Good morning. He says the president is really attacking them. How else do we say this? This is not between the presidency and anybody. It's just allegation between Dangote Refinery and the Nigerian downstream sector. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Bamidele. I'm calling from up.
Good morning, Mr. Bamidele Gift.
Yes. My wife used the right language about fighting the Kaba. But Dangote should know Ahmed has the backing of stronger cabals. Should take it easy. He went to court. He had to withdraw the case. So I think the best way you can fight this cabal is to drop the price of fuel. That's the only way. Like other cases, Ahmed cases is not unless we have pretenders. We know all these things are happening. No Nigerian should be surprised about it. If billions of naira and even dollars have been allocated for repair of refineries, and they are not working to today, and nobody's even invited, that shows you he is fighting very, very strong cabal. He knows that. It's better. This is not cemento. This cabal, they are too strong for an individual to fight. God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much for your contribution. Are we surprised that the presidency is not saying anything? Because like you rightly said earlier, what we are witnessing playing out seems to be almost like a sabotage of the policies of the current government. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm calling from Babylon.
Can you please stay away from your radio set? Okay, I guess that's gone. If you can, please, whenever you call, try and stay away from your radio set and get yourself in a place that is not noisy place so that we can hear ourselves very well. 0913-655-6952 is the number to call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is Rotimi from Oro.
Good morning, Mr. Rotimi from Oro.
I want to tell you the truth. What your analysis has said is the truth something. But the problem is that who will process it to all these kind of people? Before the immediate inauguration of the present government now, they terminated the power, the EFTC. And they have been saying this kind of thing. You import 2 gallons or something, you pay for 5 gallons. He gets the right. But immediately they terminate this man appointment without prosecution. And so this is the problem we are having. And thank God they have brought this up. This man he has been laid this Dangote 2 months, long time ago. And I think Dangote cannot take it anymore. That is why it comes there. But see what happened too in Nigeria. Yaya Bello too. He paid for children in school in the University of America, whatever. Children of 5 years. So all this, why are they doing like this? You are working in Nigeria, you are paying with government money, and we are using our money, government, in overseas. Switzerland, they don't give you money. You take their money there, if you are gang corrupt, they will not pay you back. Every other country, you have to go to court to repatriate all this kind of money. See the problem we are facing. They don't realize this. Take your business in Nigeria and do what is happening. See, this is the problem we are facing with all these politicians. They are just stealing our money. That is why they love politics.
Thank you.
They don't do anything there but to embezzle and corrupt the system.
Thank you.
It's not fair.
Thank you.
So we cannot continue to. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. God bless you.
Thank you very much. But Mr. Rotimi from, I need to quickly say this. I think we should be very careful with our choice of words, especially when we express ourselves on radio. For all the things that we're talking about right now, we are looking at the issues behind the allegation. Nobody has been caught, have been found guilty of any of these allegations. But thank you very much for your contribution. Let's go to the other topic that we have to discuss, fellow colleagues, and it has to be about the recent spread of fake news. Just this week, we got the report that the president of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, is in London. In London receiving treatment. Some of this report went as far as his critical ill. But eventually, we saw the Senate discussing that and also looking at how to curb the spread of fake news in the country. For some of you sitting down in front of me, you're way on this job even before I started this job. Let's start with Mao. What can be done to curb fake news in the media space? Because I think this right now is in our own constituency.
Fake news is not something of a new phenomenon in Nigeria, but it is spreading like wildfire due to the influence of the social media. And you find out that even those that are not even trained in the media profession, you find them having blogs. You see some even without even having blogs goes on social media just to write anything they felt should be written by them. It is now very much behaved on us as media practitioners to do so much in order to actually reduce the spread of all this fake news. You find out that in those days there's no up till now. I don't believe any media personnel trained as a media practitioner will decide to write a news he did not fact check. But to some of these young social media influencers, they just believe that they can write anything on the blogs or on the Twitter or any of their
Mr. Biomi,
without being questioned.
Some will also say that it seems to be a bit of kind of laziness from trained media practitioners that give room for the growth of these social media stunts, if I may use the word, that we are currently witnessing now. Because like some of them have accused, some of the conversations that you have media practitioners that are supposed to be unraveling, that trade media practitioners, when it comes to investigative work or fact checking or releasing things that are inciting, over a period of time, also turn to like pet dogs for people constituted authority. And why we see a bit of rise in this social media stunt. Do you believe in that? And do you also believe in the fact that it is on we trade media practitioners to also ensure the curb of and the spread of fake news through social media?
So no to the first one, that the traditional media prefer that the expression is lazy. I say absolutely no to that. And yes, we do have a duty to ensure that we are able to provide factual accounts of reported events. So that is as far as that is concerned. I do not believe that. You see, you must understand that Nigeria has 200 million people. And out of these 200 million, about 40 million are believed to be below the age of 20. I don't know if that figure is correct, but it's something like that. That is about maybe about 30% of Nigeria are believed to be below the age of 20 of Nigerians. That is if the figure has not changed. So, and a lot of these people do not have jobs. Those that have jobs are underemployed. And we now have this digital revolution of devices. Then in this digital revolution, we now discover that you can stay in Guanara, Barutin, and concoct a story about Obubra in Cross River State and put it in the media space. And before you know it, people begin to lap it up. So, whereas in the past, you could only get to the public through an established media outfit. And that established media outfit has its people and the reputation to protect. So they will be very careful. In fact, most of the time, they would rather not say anything than come out with fake news. But be that as it may, people will remember Nnamdi Azikiwe. His death was broadcast before he died. Even this one of Akpabio, around the same period, they also said that's what I wanted. They also said Yakubu Gawa was dead around the same period. So, what the traditional media has to do is to ensure that it improves the quality of its human capital. The human capital of the traditional media should always be improved. Then I think there is a need to have some form of regulation for the online media. As it is now, I'm not sure our laws have anything. There are any laws of the, like I know in the broadcast industry, you have the National Broadcasting Commission.
NBC.
For the totality of the media, there's the National Press Council. You know, so the Press Council can intervene in broadcast media. They can intervene in the print media. So what is now necessary is that we must find a means of regulating social media. But in the end, given the porosity, or rather no, the freedom of access to the social media, because the social media is really the one that there is real freedom of entry and exit. So anybody, like I gave you an example, somebody in in Baruti, Guanara,
Because
can say that there is
it
an
begs,
outbreak.
it begs a lot of questions when you can see the person of Senator Akpabio is actually sick and is in London. But now he raised the question
No,
of
sorry, I just want to say something. Then we must not also forget that in Nigeria we treat politics as war, and there is that tendency to see all as fair. Whether Akpabio likes it or not, he has been in power for practically all his life. He was commissioner in Akwa Ibom, governor of Akwa Ibom, then senator, minister. So from 1999 to now, Akpabio has always been in power. We must be realistic. For him to be thinking that people, that everybody around him or in his community, and let's not forget that all politics is local. So Akpabio should tell somebody to look under his lantern. You know, he can't see the lantern that, you know, he can't see it himself. So he should ask somebody to look under his lantern and see what is there. That, I think, is the real issue.
Let's go back and taking calls. 0913-655-6952. 0913-655-6952. WhatsApp is 0913-655-6864. Hello, good morning.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning, sir. This is Godwin from Lajori, sir.
Mr. Godwin from Lajori. Quickly,
Yes,
share
God
your
bless
contribution.
you. Thank you. I'm happy for what is happening in Nigeria. This is fingers of God Almighty. It's really working very miraculous in this country. The two governors, let them fight on in order to oppose the people that dwell in this country. That man concerning Farouk or no Farouk, you know what he said the other day, talking about this Dangote? Thank you. What else is that? I have children. Is it not possible for my children to go to Switzerland? This is our money. That's every day. Let them continue. His government is working. His fingers are working in this country. They should continue. If not so, I don't know what we are now going now. We have known the people that do this country.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Godwin, for your contribution. 0913-655-6952. WhatsApp is 0913-655-6864. 0913-655-6864. I stand with Aliko Dangote in the face of this allegation against Ahmed. Dangote has built his legacy on hard work, transparency, and commitment to Nigeria's economic growth. His contribution to industry and job creation speak louder than unproven claims. Due process and fairness must prevail, and allegations should never be used to undermine credible business leaders without clear evidence. From Alabi, sending a message from Amoyo. Thank you very much, Alabi from Amoyo, for your contribution. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Sadiq again, calling from.
Good morning to you, Sadiq.
Good morning. You know, it might be. I mean, I want to contribute this second topic. You know, some politicians. I mean, the opposition might pay some jobless journalists to be doing all this fake news, and then we should not even forget about global village. That is the effect of internet. As one of the analysts just said at the studio, that one person can just sit at the corner of the room, and cook a story that is not brilliant. So, and now we should not forget the AI. And you were about to ask that how can they get this picture of Akpabio on a sick bed? AI, that is another problem or another chapter of internet. You know, AI is even bigger than what you have been seeing 20, 30 years ago. AI video, AI pictures, can just give AI any prompt and give you whatever. So there should be regulation. I think there should be regulation. And then the real journalist should have a forum that at which there will be real regulation. And maybe the federal government should propose a law that the airspace should not be what everybody will just come in and go, because they are affecting the real journalists.
Thank you very much for your contribution. You also support the fact that there should be regulation. Good morning, gentlemen on the platform. May I ask, what is our problem in Nigeria? We ask for reveal of corruption, yet one was raised and they begin to analyze from where it came from. May God help us in this country. From Niye, from our Sudan. Thank you very much, Mr. Niye. But may I also try to enlighten a little bit? When allegations are made, they are not to be immediately confirmed to be truth. That's why they are allegations, and that's why they are investigation. Until proven guilty, please, let's always take every allegation as it is an allegation. Thank you very much for your contribution. Let's see if we can get our last caller this morning. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning, sir.
Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Dr. Larry Okiki, exponent calling from Itakure Learning.
Good morning to
I
you.
just want to commend the effort of the presenter and analyst in the studio this morning.
Okay.
So, may God bless you abundantly.
Thank you very much for your contribution. And also a big thank you to the manager, to the producer of Editors Hangout, Mr. Michael Abiodun Laniwaju, who is also the general manager of your Shiny Supreme radio station. He's doing a human job, a sleepless night, to ensure that we get insightful topics and things to talk about every week on Editors Hangout. Also, big thank you to my fellow colleagues, veteran, some senior colleagues, who also joined me on the show this morning. My name is Adeyemi, Adewale, and also saying thank you to our engineers who had our back, and also a lot of those that have worked in the background. Sophia also is one of them. Thank you very much for your hard work. Like I said earlier, my name is Adeyemi Adewale, and on behalf of my colleagues in the studio, telling you to have a very good day and also good morning.
You cannot control me. You cannot. Okay. You can have a little control, but I'm still in charge. I can attack any minute, but you can control for like a second. Oh, that's nice. That's really a spot right there.
We know exactly how that feels at Diamond FM. With good conversations, music, and top entertainment that touches your soul. It's radio like no other.